guys, my Lego city's finally actually starting to look good. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Emily, and this is the 6th Lego City update in here, I believe, and we've gotten so much done in such a short amount of time. Now, the last few weeks, we haven't really gotten much done, honestly, because of the holidays. Like, it's just so busy, family in town, all that kind of thing. But now that we're back into like normal life after the holidays, we've been working in here about 2 to 3 hours every night, and things are actually starting to come together. So I'm really proud of it, and I'm really excited to show you all of it as well. The main focus in the Lego City since the last city update was working on the greenery and especially the river. For a while, I was having a lot of trouble making the nature area look natural and making the landscaping make sense, like all that kind of stuff, making it not look like Lego, I guess, especially with the hills. And as silly as it sounds, I'm actually so proud of the hills that I've built here because it took so much trial and error to try to figure out what I wanted in here, like which pieces to use, and just how to make it not look bad. Because I feel like for the longest time, our Lego City was just not up to par. It was not looking good. And even though this natural area was the main focus of what we were working on over the last few weeks, we did make some changes in the downtown area. I've destroyed some stuff. We added wallpaper, kind of. It's in progress, but I'll show you. So make sure to stick around so you can see what we've done so far, but also I'll talk you through what we're planning to do. And I would love your feedback along the way because we're just trying to do our best. Like, we're learning every step of the way, and your feedback is very welcome. Just please be nice. Okay, let's get into it. So here we have the Lego City, and as you can see, there's been so many changes since the last update a few weeks ago. Basically, like, this whole nature area is finally starting to come together. And I know it sounds ridiculous, but these hills here have been my passion project over the last few weeks. Like, I've spent so many hours working on these, because each base plate takes about 2 hours for me and so many pieces. Like, I don't think you know how happy I am that these 1x3 plates are available on our Pick a Brick wall, because if they weren't and we were ordering them individually from Bricklink or Shop at Home, we'd be broke. And the hills are obviously far from being done, but I am really happy with the results so far. We'll be building all of the nature and the wall out to the end of the table over there, as well as finishing off the little areas like this where it's just clearly not done. But then looking along the edge of the river, you can see all of these green pieces, and I am so happy with how this is starting to look. I just felt like it looked kind of strange having the river meet the green and not having anything along it. Like, you can see here, it just doesn't look finished. Whereas looking back here, it looks more vibrant, more colorful. I even placed a few of the green pieces in the river just because I thought it looked kind of nice. But then looking at the sandbar here, I'm just not sure if the green pieces should stay where they are, if I should remove them. I think it looks nice as is, but does that make sense along a sandbar? Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And then a big change in the Lego City this week was this area here. So around Halloween, we built this really cute pumpkin patch. There were all these like critters running around in the pumpkin patch. I believe this bunny was one of them, but we just removed the path that was along it as well as the pumpkin patch just to make room for whatever's gonna be here. We're thinking about maybe putting some farm animals, but we're really not too sure yet. If you guys have any ideas, definitely let me know. So then following the river a bit more upstream, you can see this area here with like the rustic bridge and path. This wasn't really changed much at all this week, but I just wanted to show you guys because it looks really nice. I especially love this little guy here. Like, I don't know what the story is here, like what he's up to, but he just makes me happy. But anyways, y'all, back to the river. So there's something here that I want to point out that's probably a little bit difficult to see on camera. So there's different elevations to the river. Like, these pieces here come above this level. So it's like up by a plate, and you go up by another plate here, and it's kind of just making its way upstream. Like, all of these plates are increasing in elevation. And we built it that way just so that it would make more sense in nature. But then up at the top here, you can see this pond, and this is the biggest pond of the whole river. Like, this is the largest body of water, and it's gonna be leading over this way to a waterfall. Now, I am so excited about this build here because Ross built it in about like 10 minutes last night, and I'm really impressed with him. Like, go Ross, he is so much more talented than I am. But essentially what the plan is here is to have this waterfall just kind of like chill in here, I think, and then there'll be like a river leading into this body of water. But the waterfall is gonna be fueled, I guess, from like a remediation area under the city. Real quick, Emily from the future here, apparently it's a spring. And I guess it'll be coming out from this area here. I'm not sure what the full story is gonna be yet with the remediation, but it's not gonna be sewage, because that's gross. Now, looking back over to this side of the Lego City, let's talk about this wall for a bit. I built a wall a while ago, and it was a good first start, but it was only 1 across, whereas this one's 2. You can see the thickness better on the top. And making it thicker like that was a really good call for a few reasons. The first one being, I just think it looks a lot nicer. Like, there's so much more detail and depth to it. Like, oh no. I really like how the arches look. It gives it more depth, and I've seen a lot of other city builders do something similar in their cities, so I definitely got inspiration from that. But the second reason this wall is so much better is because it's way more stable than the previous version of it. The previous version was just one stud across, and it would just crumble, it would break apart, like it was just not good. It looked nice, but it just wasn't practical for a Lego city, especially with a wall of this size. And once we continue building out the greenery and just building everything out that way more, the wall will shift more into like a rock wall, kind of similar to what we're doing with the waterfall. So it'll kind of blend seamlessly into a more natural feature rather than a clearly man-made one. And then there's a little project for the Lego City room that I'm going to be working on over the next few weeks, and that is wallpapering the walls blue. Initially, I was planning to paint them blue because, I don't know, that's what I see other people doing and I thought it'd be easy. But we have so much Lego in here and it kind of stresses me out, like what if I get paint on the Lego sets? So then I discovered renter-friendly wallpaper, and I had never heard of this before starting on this whole like blue wall adventure, but it's actually so convenient. It's really easy to apply. My husband did all of this actually, so shout out to Ross. But something really nice about it is that if you already have like textured walls like this, it's pretty forgiving. There's a few little like spots here that maybe didn't come out as well, but you know, there you go, fixed. So stay tuned for that. I think it'll look really nice having blue walls behind the Lego city. It'll just bring it to life more. But something else I want to bring your attention to is this billboard over here featuring today's sponsor, Whatnot. Whatnot is an auctioning app for collectibles that really took off in the Lego world this year. They sell all sorts of collectibles, and I've obviously purchased Lego sets and figures from sellers on the app, but I've also found really good deals on Disney collectibles and weirder things like this Elvis Stitch Loungefly backpack. Currently, with where I'm at in my Lego City journey, I've gotten to the point where I need to start placing minifigures to really bring the city to life. I've realized recently that it's sometimes just so much more worth it to buy individual figures from Whatnot rather than buy the full set that it comes in, because it saves you a ton of money, especially with inflation being wild lately. I'll be live on the app doing giveaways 3 separate times this January, so make sure to download Whatnot today using the link down in the description below, and then you'll be able to come and hang out during my live streams as well as enter those giveaways. Plus, if you sign up for Whatnot using my link, you'll get $15 off your first purchase. Make sure to download the Whatnot app today so you can come hang out during the live streams. And now back to the Lego City. We also didn't want the downtown area to be completely separate from what's going on down here. So we've built out, or I guess we are building out, this little lookout point, and I want to have little like binoculars or, you know, that kind of like a looking glass so they can look out over to nature. I think that would be kind of cool. And we'll also build out some stairs from here down to here so that they can actually get there. And we might even eventually build out some sort of like hiking trail so that the minifigs can kind of go down here, check out the water, because otherwise these guys are just stranded and that doesn't really make any sense. So now let's focus just for a little bit on the downtown area of the Lego City, because I feel like I finally know what to do with this and I'm just really excited about it. So first of all, you can see that we've added the new Jazz Club Modular in there. I really like the location, like it just kind of made more sense. We were thinking about putting it up there by the diner, but like, why would there be townhomes, like those blue townhomes right next to a jazz club? Like, I don't care how much you like jazz. If you're living right next to a jazz club, I think it would get annoying after a while. And we've been also brainstorming for a bit, trying to make more sense of the different layers and like how to connect them. So you can see on the road plate right at the end there, there's a tunnel, or at least it's supposed to be a tunnel. It's at least our first rendition of a tunnel, so we still have a lot of work to do on that. The height of the tunnel really doesn't make much sense, so we're gonna lower it a little bit because it's like coming up higher than the second tier of modulars. But then looking over here, something I really do need feedback on is how to like cover up this area here and make it make sense between the tiers. So what I was thinking is kind of doing something similar to this wall and having it be just like a wall between the tiers so that it's hidden, it looks nice. And with the stone wall being built like along the edge here, I could still have stairs, kind of like what's seen over here, that would connect each of the different layers. So that's kind of the plan for now, but please do let me know what you think about that. Something else we changed since the last city update was adding this last terrace to the downtown area. We finally built it. It took maybe like 30 minutes and I got my husband's help with that, so thank you so much, Ross. But then looking this way a little bit more, just honestly ignore all of this. We have plans on what to do with this area, but so far it's really just storage and I don't know where else to put these sets. But once we're at a stopping point with the greenery area, the next step is to finally place the castle. I love this 90-year castle. It was a great build. The set makes me happy, I guess. And so it's gonna be going right about there. Like we're gonna extend this elevation up a little bit so that the castle's sitting on top of a hill. And I think that'll look really nice, especially once we have the blue wall stretching across the back of the city. And then for the rest of the space, I'm not sure exactly what to do with it yet. Again, right now it's just storage. So like none of this is actually gonna stay where it is, obviously. But what I'm thinking about doing is adding some of my Friends sets over there and doing like a Friends kind of downtown area, kind of similar to this, just Friends. I thought that would be kind of fun. But I'm definitely open to feedback as well, because our plans are definitely not solidified yet. Then for the first time ever, we actually know exactly what we want to do with an area in the Lego City, which is super exciting. So for this greenery area here, what we want to happen is, I guess you see this river, right? It's kind of like in this ravine. The elevation goes up on one side. The elevation's going to come up on this side. And so we're going to build out this like dark green hill kind of coming up this way. But then the green hill will transition into these like dark gray slopes to create a cliff overlooking the ocean, which is just along here. And I think it'll be built something kind of like this, and then maybe even cross the river. I'm really not sure yet. We need to build it out and see, but at least that's where we're going with it. We also want to redo part of the ocean here, because I really like how the tiles look over the darker blue, but with the lighter blue, it just doesn't have the effect that we were looking for. We wanted it to be like a delta and look more sandy and beachy, but I just don't think it looks great. So we're gonna take another look at that. And so for the next city update, I'm really hoping to have the rest of the hill done, the waterfall looking at least decent, or you know, a first draft of it, and then start working on bringing the hill to the other side of the river. So I'm really excited to get going with this. Again, I'm always open to suggestions, so please let me know your thoughts if you have any feedback, ideas, because I want to make this city amazing, and your comments have been so helpful so far. So thank you so much for doing that. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please consider doing so. Thanks everyone so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.